Hello my lovely art students, we are looking at the work of Ed Fairburn, who draws on maps. Now he does draw with pens and pencils, but he uses black pens, so a range of black pens will be fine. If all you've got is a biro, that's going to be fine, or a fine line or a gel pen or something like that, that will work absolutely fine for this. When we're having a look at emulating his work, we want to look really closely at the way he makes his marks and how he creates his light and dark. And there are two different ways, main ways in the picture that we look at. One of his favourite techniques is this kind of hatching, but also cross hatching. But as you can see, they're going in different directions. So here the lines are going in that direction, and then the lines are going in a different direction. But what you will notice is that they are parallel lines, and he tries to get them the same width apart, and he is quite careful with them. He does do them freehand, so a little bit of practice is in order here. But you can see where he's going for lighter areas, the lines are a little bit further apart, okay, but they're still regular. When he wants to make a darker tone, he then does a diagonal or a line crossing the hatching. Okay, so he has a light tone and then he gets a sort of a medium tone. When he wants to make a very dark tone, he's crisscrossing the lines in different directions, and he's building it up so that less and less of the map paper can show through, and that way we get very dark areas in his work, like around the eye and the eyebrow. Okay, now he seems to do this in sections, and he allows some of the roads on the map to still be present. Okay, so that's something I want you to look at as well. If you are using a map, can you leave some areas of map so we can still see some of the structure of the roads that are sort of underneath your drawing. But as you can see, he can make dark and light just using these very strong parallel lines, very carefully done. Another way he does it is, I've noticed in some drawings like this, he's actually doing his same lines, but he's actually doing them in circles and curves rather than sort of square angular blocks. He's doing them in circle and curves, a little bit more challenging and a little bit more different. Okay, so this is kind of two techniques, and here he's got lots of really dark tone where he's really filled it in. I suspect at some point, because he does use watercolour sometimes, there may well be some watercolour here, but I was just focusing on the lines. So I'm going to practice first, okay, before I start drawing my face. And here on my piece of paper I've had a go at both techniques, where I'm trying to create light and dark using a series of carefully drawn parallel lines, trying to get them the same width apart and then cross hatching over them, but focusing on going a different direction each time. Now if that means turning your paper, turn your paper so it makes it easier, but here I'm trying to create light and dark, a little bit more space between the lines gives me a lighter tone. Okay, so I'm having a little practice here. The circular ones are really tricky, and I found I had to draw a circle before I sort of tried to attempt it, and I was finding this a lot more difficult to do, to try and build up in the circle. But it was really good to have a go, but I did find it quite challenging. You do have to concentrate, and the control of your hand and your pen has to be pretty good. Okay, but these samples here I'll be able to present with my work because it shows development and experimentation as well. So if you do any practice, keep hold of it, and we will be able to use it in the future. So for my drawing, I've decided to go for this more angular technique in boxes, almost as if they're little fields on the map. So I'm going to go for this technique for my drawing.